All right, guys, it's winner take all time in the NBA and NHL, and FanDuel's giving you a shot to bring home a big win of your own. Right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 bet. That's $150 to bet on spreads, money lines, player props, and much, much more. Visit FanDuel.com/UCSS and make every playoff shot count. FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Over the weekend, Mary Kay Cabot, a friend of the show, wrote an article from Minicamp talking about how Ken Dorsey's fingerprints are all over the Browns already. And in her article, she mentioned a couple things that she's already noticing about Dorsey's influence on whatever the Browns offense will look like in 2024. She mentioned new drop back concepts, spread and RPO designs, 3 and 4 wide receiver formations, and utilizing choice routes, which is what Dorsey used with Cole Beasley, in Buffalo. We heard almost this exact same report last year about this new look offense, and we know how that turned out. It looked pretty similar to 2022. Are you buying or selling the fact that entering 2024, the Browns will actually have a new look offense with Deshaun Watson under center, Jerry Jeudy on the outside, all the new weapons they've acquired, but the actual offense itself will look different than it has the last 2-3 years under Kevin Stefanski?
It may well look like it. It may well be a situation. But you're not getting me 2 years in a row. I'm not doing it, bro. I drink the Kool-Aid and all that good stuff, but you're not about to get me, bro. Like, I got to see it. And in fact, I got kind of infuriated when it said new choice routes. They've been running choice routes in the NFL since Madden 96. And we got new choice routes on the bottom? Like, that's wild. That's like saying new forward passing. Like we the 4 horsemen running around with Notre Dame running a triple option. This is ridiculous that your offense was that far behind. When she said 3 and 4 receiver sets. Dun 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 dun. You mean not 3 and 4 tight end sets?
Jerry Glanville was doing that in Houston in the late 80s.
Like the Oilers was getting that off since the 80s. So, like, it just goes to show we had an offensive lineman that was playing fullback and tight end, going in motion. Nick Harris was just going in motion, sliding down the line of scrimmage. No. If they do, good for them. I'll come back and say, listen, I like the offense. You're love it.
You're not buying it.
But I'm not, listen, I got to see it first. I'm sorry. I'm not going, you ain't going to have me looking crazy. These little montages at the end of the year McNuggets be doing.
It's funny that your tact and your angle on this was very similar to mine. When I read Mary Kay, I literally said, if we change the date in this story from 2024 to 2004, 2014.
Right.
I'm like, okay, they caught up.
Yeah, we ready to go.
This is 2024. And we're going to run some RPO. And we're going to run some new drop back concepts. We might even have one of them fellas in there that can block on the line and then release and catch passes.
What?
Boom. We're going to call him a split end.
Gotcha.
I don't get it. And what really... Now, I do buy that we're going to see that this year.
Yes, I think...
I do buy it. And the reason I buy it is because as I'm trying to put this puzzle together in my mind, I think I've finally figured it out. For the last year, 2 years maybe, Jimmy Haslam has been watching this, and it's not about the what, but it's about the how.
Yeah.
Case in point, the Cardinals game. Mm-hmm. We boat raced a bad Arizona team that had, I think, Anthony playing quarterback.
Clayton Tune.
After the game, Jimmy was overheard telling some reporters, we didn't pass enough. Jimmy wants to win the way Dan Marino won.
Yep.
He wants to throw it all over the place.
Yep.
And that's not Kevin Stefanski. And so he watched last year, and the what was 5 different quarterbacks. When we finally had success, it was with a under center quarterback who play faked, and it worked. And Jimmy's like, no, that's not what I want. I didn't spend good hard money on this football team to watch that. I want to see the run and shoot. I want to see Jerry Glanville. I want to see And the problem with that is, because they've had a lot of success with that in the NFL. But I have talked on this set the last year about zig and zag. What does that mean? When teams zig, the smart coaches zag. They don't follow the trend, they set the new trend. Bill Belichick did that for years. Last year, no success, had no quarterback. What you have to do in this league is stay ahead of what the league is doing, because it's a copycat league. We're copycatting way too late. Because now, the trend in the NFL now is to do it with defense. Kansas City Chiefs won the Super Bowl this year because they had a great defense. They also have an all-time great quarterback. That's a great combo. But they're not putting 45 on the board anymore like they were. Buffalo's not dropping 50 anymore like they did. The defenses now are built to stop what we're going to change to. I don't know if that's a good idea. I think we're behind the trend.
I think when I seen it, I seen an article about the new look Browns offense. I laughed, and I'm like, gee, I'm like you. You're not getting me 2 years in a row with that. I do believe it more this year than last year's for the simple fact, at the end of the season, Josina Anderson came out and said, hey, there will be sweeping changes on the Cleveland Browns offensive side of the ball.
And there were.
And there were. We got a new OC. We got a new offensive line coach. We got a new running back coach. So by default, the offense is going to look different.
I think a new tight end coach, right?
Yeah, new tight ends coach. So, technically by default, the offense is going to look different than what we saw last year. Now, will it be this spread offense that we was promised last year? I think that's TBD, right? I think that you got to get these guys on the field, get them in this system and kind of get the verbiage down and see how it looks. I think that as the season goes or as the offseason program goes on, I think that the offense should organically shape itself into what this 2024 offense would be. I think they're giving.
You mean by what they do best?
By what they do best.
That we do more of that.
Right, and I think that will, hopefully shape what it should be. Don't just try to force an offense that looks pretty. Just go out there, install, and see what happens.
Another interesting thing about this is I'm reading it. Mary Kay talked about how Ken Dorsey is going to bring some of the concepts that Brian Daboll used with the Bills. How have those same concepts transferred to New York, Mike?
Not good.
Huh.
They ain't got a quarterback.
Thank you.
So my thing is, the thing I like is the fact that if you look at those montages, Tommy Rees was an offensive coordinator. Dorsey has been an offensive coordinator. Stefanski has been an offensive coordinator. And so what I would like to see them do is bring the best of both worlds. I want to see Tommy Rees come in here and give me some of those college concepts that get people wide open in college. I want to see Dorsey give us some of those vertical passing concepts that Josh Allen used to throw the ball all over the park. I still want Kevin Stefanski to be able to give us a ground-based offense that when we do run the football, we can run play action out of it. I'm not saying that this won't work, but I'm saying they got enough minds and good offensive minds with different philosophies that they can make this Browns playbook very multiple, which that's what I like to see. It's not about what we're going to do. It's about from week to week. I remember when Tom Brady was playing, and I know it's Tom Brady. Don't kill me on this one. But when the Patriots was rolling, it was mixed fruit. Like it was trail mix. 1 week it'd be they running the ball. The next week is 2 tight ends throwing the ball.
It all depended on what the defense that they were playing
But
that week was
Stefanski
good
says
at.
that all the time, though. I got to give Kevin Stefanski some credit because he says that all the time that his offensive game plan week to week is dictated on the personnel of the other team,
Well,
right?
it has to be.
So, and it has to be. So I think when we see, articles like this and we have conversations about this offense being vertical and RPOs, yeah, that might be some base packages that's installed, but you can't expect to see that stuff week in and week out. I think your offense is going to be dictated to the other team that you're playing, what you have success doing, and what you have success doing might not always be what you think is going to be successful this season.
Well, if someone would have told you last year that the Browns are going to make the playoffs with an under center quarterback, play fake, and a heavy rotation of tight ends, you would have been like, well, what happened? Well, Deshaun Watson got hurt, so they had to pivot. Now with Deshaun back, maybe some of that RPO stuff can work. But, when we show Ken Dorsey's bio and we see that he worked with Cam Newton the year he won the MVP in 2015, that was 10 years ago. It's a different league now. This league changes every 2 to 3 years, like conceptually, and what teams are trying to do. They just look at how the Chiefs won their most recent Super Bowl.
No starker reminder that 10 years ago was 10 years ago than I just thought of this as you mentioned that, Jay. Ron Rivera won Coach of the Year in 2015 when Cam Newton won MVP that season.
Yeah.
He was arguably the best coach. He won Coach of the Year.
Sure.
He may have been the worst coach in football last
Did
year.
that team go like 15-1?
Out.
Yeah.
15-1. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the year they lost in the Super Bowl, wasn't it?
Yep.
They did.
Now look, the Browns to run what they claim they want to run, they didn't have the horses to run that either. They got one receiver.
That's the other thing.
You got Amari Cooper, which is like we saw with Elijah. That's what I'm saying. We be overvaluing. We be overestimating sometimes, and I gotta pump the brakes. Like,
no, G, you're the worst at that. No offense. I love you, G, but you're the main culprit of the overestimation.
Hey, listen, man. Listen, some of it is tongue in cheek, and some of it is like, nah, Elijah Moore ain't it. I told Tyvis, nah, bro. You said that he was gonna be out. No, he is a third or fourth receiver. Actually, be truthful, I take that back. I ain't been high on David Bell, Cedric Tillman. I didn't like Schwartz. I'm trying to figure out what receiver that I pumped up that turned out to be. I ain't pumped nobody up. But I did say this, though. I did tell you David Njoku should have got that contract. I did tell you DeJuan Jones was going to be a playmaker. Didn't I tell you that? Did I tell you that?
Hey, you told me my boy Kevin Stefanski sucked, though.
I did, too. I had to apologize for that.
Hey, you throw enough darts in a dark room and you're going to hit the board once or twice.
I talked to Kev off air.
Yeah.
I talked to Kev. We good, man. I told him, I seen him. I said, yo, listen, I like your beard, bro.
Yeah.
See, here's the thing, though, on that. If you predict everybody's going to be great, you're going to be right sometimes.
Right.
Like, I think I give credit to guys when they look at somebody who's being way overhyped, and they look at that player and they're just like, I'm sorry, this is going to be a colossal fail.
And I try to see it. Like, sometimes, I try to talk myself into it. Like, look, I'll even give you this point. Like, I know what people is trying to say when Deshaun Watson, they say he hasn't played well at all. What people are saying is, bro, we got to have a 300. What are 350s?
That's right.
What are 350 in the 4 touchdowns? That's what we want. Not that 196 stuff and 2 touchdowns.
Middling.
That's Minimowski. We ain't trying to see that. That's what they be saying. So I see what people be saying, but sometimes you got to call that out. I'm sorry, bro.
All right, guys, I got a different football question for you guys, and I'm going to tell you what that is after a quick word from eBay Motors.